Hello YouTube, it is Damien, it is the Rise of a Nation, it is episode 108, and today we will be having the group stage draw of the Champions League, and obviously the start of the Champions League here in Season 11 with SFB. We also will be going and recapping all the transfers that we've made on group stage game day, group stage draw day, and all that sort of stuff as well. There has already been one signing. I'm talking to another signing. There should be a couple more signings. All I'm going to say, boys, is that we have 30 million to spend because we've sold some people. That's going to increase as well at the moment. So we have got you've got the ability to obviously go out there and do something. You can see a new name there already on the screen if you look down in the promises section. He wants me to strengthen up front to get him in. He's good enough to get in, right? I'm just telling you right now, there's one guy I'm interested in. Outside of that, I don't think spending money on a striker where I've signed a striker before he came in, and I've got a few others, right, in Lars, Wirtz, Zahora, Morton, this new striker. There's 5 strikers. I don't understand how he thinks that we need strength. Considering that there's 2 wonder kids, the new striker signed was a free 19-year-old from Spain, and then everything else. Like, I'll recap that when we get to it. But yeah, is what it is with this Alexander Ortiz, but we will recap who he is. But the main reason we're here is that the World Cup has been won by Portugal. They beat Italy in the final 4-2 in an impressive final from Portugal. Third place was England as they beat the Netherlands. And obviously, we were named biggest overachievers. And to be quite fair, we topped the group. We got drawn to Argentina, which was, on paper meant to be difficult. We meant to lose. And we won 2-0. We looked absolutely amazing. And then, we beat Ivory Coast without even, a sweat. We didn't even lift a finger. It was dominant. It was just unfortunate. We played our worst game of the World Cup against the best team that we came up against in the World Cup. And it just so happened that on the biggest stage, we just didn't get going. We didn't get out of first gear. We never started. The engine clicked over, but really there was no oomph to it. It was upsetting. However, great progress. Enough about the World Cup now. It's done. It's dusted. In terms of international football, it's all about gearing up for the Euros. I would love to put in a very good competitive campaign in the Euros. I would love for Denmark to make it. They didn't make it last time out before I became manager. They made the Euros. When I became manager, we would have managed in the Euros straight out. But, and then for me, it's all about 4 years' time. I said it at the end of last episode. I'm going to say it here before we get into more SFB stuff, group stage draw when we get to that, because it is July the 14th. I don't think you guys can see that, actually, but if I do that, you should be able to see it. There we are. It is July the 14th. We're still very far away. We are, for me, the window's opened. Now, we saw what we could do. 2030 was all about just meeting the expectation, don't get the sack. Saw Argentina, freaked out, beat Argentina. It proved to me that we can win the World Cup. What we have to do is how we have to grow the right players at Denmark. This is where we have to show a duty to Lars and Wirtz and get them growing as wonder kids to lead the line to play for Denmark, right? This is where we got to go with Jochen Wind, who's still here. I've rejected a couple $1 million bids from Ajax, PSV in that, to let him go because I prefer to him playing here, growing in the best facilities that, we have, which is the best facilities in Denmark. Get him ready for Denmark, right? We need to go and just make sure, see how we go, and I think we will be good enough, hopefully, to have a squad that is good enough to win the World Cup. Do I think 2034 is the year? I think the window will be opened with the right draw and the right run. We can make the big dance. And then in the big dance, anything happens in the World Cup final, right? 2038, you got Lundberg at 30 years of age, 31 years of age, just in his prime, experience as ever. You're going to have Lars, you're going to have Wirtz, fully grown. You're going to have Hansen, who's the Real Madrid wonder kid, fully grown. They're going to be 28 in their prime. Yeah, look, that World Cup there, the 2038 one, if we did not do it in 2034, 2038 could be the year we do it. It's just a matter of if we win the Champions League in the next 4 years or not. Ideally, I don't want to win the Champions League before the 2034 World Cup because that means it's the last chance. And the last hurrah. I would love to win it before the 2038 World Cup, which means then all the pressure's on that World Cup. And I think we could do it in that World Cup. And it'll be an awesome way to end the save, right? To have one World Cup, to have the last hurrah, to this is it, this is the be-all and end-all. Can you go win it? To win the save. If you don't win it, the save is over. You didn't complete it. You failed to an extent. You still won the Champions League with a Danish club. Still very nice. But it would be a cool way to end it. And that's what we're here for to start with this episode 108. I still think after that World Cup campaign, and actually it's grown my confidence that we can win the World Cup here in Denmark as the Danish boss. Is it going to be 2034? Maybe. There's a question mark. It depends what regions come out, who grows really well, and who's going to be fit and available in 4 years' time. It also gives me confidence that 2038, all these guys grown, absolutely monsters, Jeppe probably captain inside, I think we can do a job. Anyhow, I'll see you guys in a second, YouTube, for the Champions League group stage draw. Let's see who we get, who we're going to try and terrorise in the Champions League this year out. It is going to be our first year in the 4-4-2 in the Champions League as well. I predict that it's not going to be as easy as we've been doing. You know, I think games at home are going to be a lot more even. I personally think until we get the right personnel for this 4-4-2, we probably will get into some trouble in the Champions League because we're not going to go out there and dominate the ball and dominate games like we do in Denmark. I also do think, though, that our pressing's really good. We're going to be better for playing this 4-4-2, and I do think that this system will help Lars and Wirtz and the rest of the players grow. And once we've learnt it and once we've played maybe a year or two in the Champions League with it, we'll be good enough to then compete again, really make the first round plus every year. I think for the next 2 years, if I've finished in the Europa League spot a couple of years, doesn't bother me. But yeah, let's see who we get, and I'll see you guys in a second for that Champions League group stage draw. Welcome back, YouTube, episode 108, and it is time for the Champions League group stage draw. Before we go then, we have to recap what's been happening in the league, and as you can see from the league table, just down here where the mouse is, 16 goals, 15 points, 5 games played. That is 5 wins. Unfortunately, we do have an international game coming up, which will keep means it's doing that. But our form here, incredible. We beat AAB on the opening day. Wirtz scoring 4 on the opening day, ladies and gentlemen. As a 16-year-old, he, of course, now has got downward arrows, but he was growing really rapid. He's already up to 3-star. He's already 3-star at 16 years of age. He's got 7 goals in 5 appearances in the league at a 7.5. Has been the leading light so far in this 4-4-2. Looked amazing out there. Important to note that Munizal was injured for the first 2 days, and he's currently upset with me. We rejected 40 million from Atletico as a 60 mil release fee. It was 33.5. Let's round it up to 40. Why not, Damien? But yeah, 33.5 with clauses. He obviously has a 60 mil release fee. He didn't even bat an eyelid, but because Wolves play in the Premier League and offered me 15 mil and I rejected it, he wants to leave to go to the Premier League. So what it says to me is that my players now view, because Denmark's now 10th in the world in terms of leagues, they view like the 4th and 3rd place leagues as not really the biggest step up. But if the Bundesliga or the Bundesliga or if the Premier League comes knocking, they want to leave because it's a better division, where now France and Spain are just like, depends. If it's for Real Madrid or whatever, then yeah, but it seems like Atletico, no. In the end, we then beat Nords 4-0, Morden scoring, Wirtz scoring again. Jochen Win, by the way, has, now his potential shaft, it was 5-star, has played 3 bench appearances, 2 goals, and did miss a 1-on-1 against Copenhagen to make it 3-3. But there we are as well. We then beat OB 3-0, then we played and won 2-0 there. Lars scoring there. Lars, however, has been developing really well, but he's wanted by Liverpool, which kind of shows you how good Lars is going to be. He's also going to start for me in Denmark against Portugal as well. Just look how good he is. If it wasn't for Wirtz being absolutely amazing and Morton being Morton, who just finishes everything, Lars would start as the advanced forward or as the false 9. Look, he's probably better than what Wirtz is as the false 9, but Wirtz is just scoring so many that he has to play there. And he's probably better, just as good as an advanced forward as Morton is now, but Morton just scores everything. Plus, when Morton's in form, he's world class, but when he's not in form, could you imagine Lars and Wirtz playing together week in, week out? The development. I think Lars, at 18 years of age, 17 turning 18, he's just going to be incredible. When we start getting into the Champions League, which obviously we've got the group stage draw right now, these guys are going to start more. Lars are going to start. Penna, who's here, which is the Spanish version. Zahora's not even getting a look in, and he just scored 4 in a reserve game because he's that good still. We're going to have this many players, and, I'm speaking about strikers, and I have to, because one of my new signings is going to kick up a fuss because I'm not going to sign a new striker. However, let's just go and recap what's been going on. But we have made some big money on the outs. It's big money on the ins. Big money here is that Carlo wasn't ever going to be that good for me as a scout report. Whatever, right? They've come in and said, hey, we're going to give you whatever it is over clauses, and they're going to give me 50% of whatever he sells on for next. I think that's just good business. Same with Mateus. Mateus, I could try and convince to be Danish manager. Something banged around in the back there, might have been the cat. A Danish citizen, or represent Denmark. We had him in on loan, 49 scout rating. Schalke gave me a mil up front. Good business. Unbelievable. I don't know what Schalke saw, but yeah, not a problem. Andreas did leave as well. He just wasn't going to play for me. He's obviously very good, very driven. At one stage or another, he was a leading player in the league. When he's in form, when he's out of form, he's just good. Look, obviously very good, but Jochen Wind could play for Denmark. I mentioned it before. So just to cash in on him, not too bad. He's gone to the French league. He's obviously very good there in the French league. Hopefully he's done well. But the big money's come in. Samuel Moreno, right? 7.5 million. He never developed, really. These are the same sort of stats he had when I played him there. I'm now training Yeppy, and he's picked it up decently well how to play fullback as a good backup anyway, because I've signed a fullback. Moreno, though, just because of that, goes by the wayside. We also have the George that can play naturally left back or right back. At the moment, I still would prefer inverted wing backs, but on the right hand side, I'm running a wing back anyhow in support. Seems to work just as well. But yeah, look, it looks really good. 5'10", 7.5 million all up front. Funded the money it did for a few of the big signings here. And then lucky last, Adam Lodberg had a 10 mil release fee. I do like the guy, and I hope he develops because he's going to be part of my international squads in the future. He's going to probably be part of my World Cup squad in 4 years' time. He just never really grew for me. Good homegrown talent. Good, a great player that we picked up from Midtjylland, obviously. And if we played wing-backs on support, he probably would have played a little bit more than what he did for me. But to get 10 million up front from Forest, right? Great. He goes to England. He probably will go there and develop, which is good for me for Danish manager. But 10 mil up front means we made 24 mil total. We've also got a few loans out there. Kirill went on loan to CAM. Diatta went on loan as well. And then a few of the loans you won't really know. But yeah, there we are. But on the ins, some big money has been spent. And a couple of these guys are good. And to be honest, Penner on a free is really good. He's come in. He's one of a couple of... He's one of many strikers now at the club. If you go by this, you've got... If you go to the striker role, right? You've got Morton, Wirtz, Zahora, Penner, Lars. And technically speaking, if there was an injury out, you have Neil Jenkins. You've got 6 strikers, right? Penner looks unreal. Was released by Atletico Palmomo, who I've picked up a few regens from in the past, but no one as nutty as this. He's got physicals, great determination, good off the ball, decent passing for an advanced forward, but great technique, dribbling, finishing. First touch, sorry. His finishing and his composure could be worked on, but at 19 years of age, it will be. If Morton wasn't Morton, right, and Morton wasn't as good, and the big thing about Morton, because I have had some interest in him, is because we picked him up at a young age, he has got homegrown status in the Champions League and is homegrown for the league, which is really good for registration. If it wasn't that for Morton, I would have shipped him out, and I probably would have had Lars starting, and Penner would have been on the bench. And with game time, this guy's going to grow. I hope playing in the reserves, he's going to grow. And I really do hope that when we are in the Champions League and we're rotating, Penner's going to come in those games that we're rotating in and score goals with those physicals. At 19, I think he's really good. You let me know in the comment section. I think he is superb. And that leads me into Alexander Ortiz. These guys are absolutely outstanding. I'm using him as a centre mid on defend. I usually play a deep line playmaker on defend, but like the centre mid on attack that we have, I put player traits to make him really defensive, just keep everything simple because his passing is not the greatest. I'm trying to train his passing to become better so we can make him a little bit more expansive with his passing. But a wonder kid nonetheless. 1.9 was his 1.9 mil was his release fee. We paid it from whoever it was, America de Cali, who obviously produced a lot of good Colombian regens. I'm very shocked he has been capped by Colombia as well. Great determination, physically a god, 5'9". He's also half a shout to play ball playing defender on cover. As much as he's 5'9", though, an absolutely outstanding ball playing defender. He would have the great tackling and marking, and the great pace to cover with vision. And I have signed another centre back that would really work well with Ortiz. The only thing is being 5'9". I don't want to play him there. I'd rather him develop and play in the centre mid role. And if he does become natural in there, he's going to be so good. He's going to be a really good defensively minded midfielder. He's also got 14 long shots, so there will be the day that he will hit one from distance, and we won't be too surprised it flies in. But a great player. Problem. He was promised. He wanted to only come, right, if we promised him this, for 1.9 mil and 10k a week for a wonder kid that is out of this world. You just bear with it. He wants to have more striker depth. I've already signed Penner by this stage. I've got 5 strikers that are unreal in the league. I have scored in every league game so far. We've played 5 league games. We have 16 goals in 5 league games. And he's telling me that we don't have enough striker depth. And that I know that when the window closes, he's going to be upset with the striker depth. Because as you see here, I've got 6 days to do something about it. I ain't going to do jack all about it. So as much as we sign him, I'm happy. He's going to kick up a fuss. I personally going to think that, hang on a second, 2 things will happen. The players will get on board, or because Ortiz new sign, no one's going to bat an eyelid. He's going to be upset. I'm just going to bear with it. I've got him here for 4 years. In 4 years' time, I can nearly guarantee you he would have forgot about it because we would have won the league, we would have won the cup. It looks that way anyway at the moment in Denmark, that he should get over it. But I'm going to bite the bullet and hopefully pray that it's okay. Anyway, Carlos Sanchez came in, right? But I'm going to start with Fabio Vieira because I think Sanchez is the better of the player, the best player we picked up. We had Yepi training as a right back. I had Moreno. Moreno got the bid, and I was like, look, if there's ever a time with 30 million in my transfer budget and 60 million in the club, the finances are pretty unreal at the moment because I just got my Champions League money for the group stage draw. If there's ever a time to get in a fullback, now's the time. This was the time. He looks incredible, does Fabio Vieira. Physically unbelievable, mentally unbelievable, technically really well-rounded with good tackling, and he's just looked really good. He's come in and played 2 games in the league at a 7.3. I think he's going to be really, really, really good. He's got well-rounded stats. You know, he's come from Bayer 04 where, you know, when Herver picked him up, he played in the Bundesliga decently well. Bayer 04 picked him up, played him once for the, you know, a little bit of the season, didn't then play in the next season, barely, and then he's like, I want to leave because I want first team football, and Bayer 04 were like, well, to me, 12.5 million with 20% of whatever he goes on for next, and I was like, yeah, no dramas, done. For a guy that went for 32 million to Bayer from Hertha, who are unbelievable, and he's played in the Bundesliga at a decently good, you know, rating, I just don't believe we picked him up. He's picked up by Portugal. What a fullback to pick up. But the reason why I've done this in this order is he wanted a defender to be signed if he wanted to join. I already had Carlos Sanchez joining. What I did is I delayed it for a week to wait for Fabio Vieira to have joined after his work permit got done. And then I accepted Carlos Sanchez 2 days later on my birthday, the 4th of August. And Carlos Sanchez is an absolutely sensational. Sensational. Of course, it's not going to show you that he's a 4-star centre-back. It shows you as a libero. There, look at him as a libero. It's a sensational wonder kid. He is next level, and I believe this guy is going to take us next level. Like, he is nutty, beyond nutty. 17 tackling, good technique, can mark, can header. Physically, an absolute monster at 6 foot. You know, when I mean a monster, I mean his acceleration, agility, balance, jumping reach, natural fitness, stamina, and strength are very good. Top tier for Denmark at a minimum, right? And his natural fitness, his pace, at 13 is probably going to grow. This guy's going to come in, and when good form hits, he's going to develop into a world-class player for the money we paid for him, which is 8.75 mil up front, right? Which wasn't a release fee. That's what they wanted for me to sign in Velez. I taught them down from 12, 7.25, potential to be 8.5 maybe. I thought it was 8.5 up front, maybe not. But yeah, look, unbelievable. Apart from his bravery, I love him. You know, the fact that he can play libero at 19 kind of tells you how good this guy's going to be. He's come in and he's looked absolutely amazing. He's played 3 times in the league. He doesn't know what it is like to concede in Denmark yet. I do think that in the Champions League it'll be a little bit different for us. I feel like in the Champions League playing a 4-4-2, that's really aggressive. We're going to concede a few, but we will score a few. But we'll wait and we'll see. And I've discussed this enough times to tell you that the next couple of years, while the guys kind of grow, I don't mind finishing 3rd a couple of times. But they are my signings. Let me know. I think pretty good, close to world class. Gonna be world class. Maybe upset for a few months, but that's okay. Penner is the smoky. Because if he does play or there's an injury and we do play him, he is going to become world-class. And that was the goal of this window. Sell off the deadwood where we can, turn over the money, but buy people that are just going to make this squad even more world-class. And it is. It looks incredible, this squad. Right? It does. You know, you've got potentially world class, wanted by a lot of people. Marquez is okay. Sanchez going to be world class, pretty good at the moment. Eugene Neff is playing unreal at the moment and has been developing because of that. I do think Eugene Neff isn't world class, but with those physicals makes him very good for at least Denmark, and does of course make him very good in the Champions League. Club captain, he will be the last one I'll replace, right? Eugene Neff looking really good. Frank is pretty close to world class. Orbrecht is pretty close to world class. Ortiz has the potential. Fran is pretty close to world class. Wirtz is a wonder kid. And Morton is... I still am an R, and there was definitely strikers I could have bought in over Morton, but being homegrown, knowing that he knows how to score goals, he scored big goals for me in the Champions League and in the league. I'm going to give him another year. It also allows me that if I do run out of form with Morton, I can put Lars up there, who will become world class. Penner could become world class. I think in a couple years' time, this squad, if we sign a centre back over Marquez, right, but then you got Gamma, who's come back from on loan and he's looking really decent. We could have potentially a very good world-class squad if we can keep these boys together. And all of a sudden, you've got Yepi on the bench, Biho on the bench, Lars is on the bench, Sahura's on the bench, or not even on the bench, Penner's not even on the bench, the George is not even starting, right? You've got then Campbell that's here, Kenny's not even getting a look. Thank God hasn't even played a game for me yet. All of a sudden, you're looking at this squad and you're going, okay, you're really starting to assemble a squad that is going to be a monster squad in a couple years' time, and it's true. And there we are. I think it's going to be really good. More importantly to note, though, we have a Champions League group stage draw. And because of our recent performances in the league, and our recent performances, though, more importantly, in the Champions League, we have now grown our coefficient to be second in the coefficients and seeding for the Champions League, which is amazing. Anyway, Real Madrid did win it last year after knocking us out, which is really good to see. But as you can see, we have a 68.5 coefficient, and it's only going to go up because it would not have taken into account probably what happened last year. But, obviously getting through the first couple of years, it takes your first, 5 years as a whole of what sort of your coefficient is. We haven't even been in Europe for 5 years, but because we made it to a quarterfinal of the Euro 2, a quarterfinal of the Europa League, made it out of the Champions League group stage at least once, and finished third in another. Last year's will take into effect probably next year, which will probably improve my coefficient. We look really good. So, we could get a potential group of Real Madrid, Bayern, PSG, Milan, Barca, Chelsea, Zebra, or Benfica. Obviously, we want Benfica, right? We can't get any of the boys, but it's just nice to avoid Liverpool, Arsenal, Leipzig, Napoli, United, Inter, or Lyon. Makes things a bit more interesting, easier. However, you got Ajax, who I wouldn't mind. Dortmund, I don't want. Valencia would be difficult, but we beat them before. We could do it again. But then there's teams like Basel, PSV, and Sevilla that you don't mind. Celtic and Rangers have actually grown quite nutty on the save. And then if you look at the third choice now, you just don't want AS Monaco, who have not been good at the moment. But the rest of the teams there are not bad. We would be pretty unlucky to get a group of death here. We're going to draw out the first seeds here, and we're now just going to have a look what we want. All right, we want Group B. If we don't get Group B, we want Group G because we pump Milan home and away. And if we get Group H, we have a very good record against Barcelona, so we don't mind that. We don't want Group A. We don't get Group A. Group B, please. Oh, unlucky. Juve, we have some history against. Leipzig go in there. We don't want Chelsea because they're world class. Bayern, I don't particularly want. PSG, at home will be okay. Milan, we do want. Beautiful. We beat them home and away last year in the Champions League, and we got them again. They hate that, Milan. They absolutely hate that. We beat them home and away in the Champions League last year. We beat them 4-0 at home, and we fully rotated last day of the season, expecting to finish second. PSV, FM, Barcelona to draw 1-1, and we spanked Milan with a rotated team. Now, we are playing a 4-4-2 instead of 4-2-3-1. I still expect us to probably do a job against Milan. They did miss a couple of big players like Dino and co, but we'll see. Now, look, in terms of third seeds, Twitch chat, let me know who you think we're going to get. All right, should ask that for the Milan one. We just don't want Dortmund. Anyone else but Dortmund are okay, but anyone on the left-hand side, Celtic, Basel, PSV, or Sevilla, we would take. Rangers, we would take. Ajax, we would take. Really, it's Dortmund, Valencia. I don't particularly do want Ajax or Celtic, but the rest of them would take. Like Basel, 100%, PSV, 100%, Sevilla, 100%. If we get AC Milan and PSV again, it's just like good old days, and we should be really good. PSV, obviously, were the Whooping Boys last year. Unfortunately, they've gone in the Group A. That sucks. Sevilla have gone in there. We want to see Dortmund go out. Rangers, Dortmund, please. Good. That's a crazy group. Group D, Lyon, Chelsea, Dortmund. Now we really want to see Valencia go out. Ajax do. That's not bad. Basel. Or it's got to be Celtic or Valencia. I prefer Celtic, but if it's Valencia, so be it. That makes things a little bit more difficult, but we did play Valencia in the Europa League 2 years ago. We beat them home and away. That, however, said, both games were really tight. We won both games 2-1. On paper, that looks a little bit scary, but we have history of pumping Milan, and we have history of beating Valencia. It's not bad. If we can avoid Atletico, AS Monaco, no matter who else we get, maybe Genk, we should be okay, because Genk have a history of playing really well against us. We want to see Genk and if Monaco go out early. Genk go out, what a group. Because Genk are no mugs. United and Real Madrid should get out, but Genk are no mugs and PSV are going to get whooped. Okay, now we just need Monaco to get out. They don't. Gladbach's probably not a bad thing to go out there. Monaco are out. Leipzig, Juve, and Monaco all in the same group. Now for me, I want Austria, Vienna, but it doesn't really matter. Zenit, Ludogorets. If Braga could go out, that would be great. Legia, please not Braga. That is unreal. That is a good group. Our group is Milan, who we beat home and away last year. Valencia, who 2 years ago in the Europa League, we knocked out in the second knockout round, or the first knockout round, one of the two. We knocked them out. It was 2-1 home and away. And Austria, Vienna shouldn't even really get a point out of this group. At a minimum, we are nailed on third, right? And like I said, a new system in the Champions League, we got a good enough group to test this new system out. Secondly, more importantly, against Vienna, we should just pump them home and away no matter what, really, right? I'm not going to say we're going to take it easy, but we should pump them no matter what, home and away. We'll finish third. And if we go into the Europa League, as long as we didn't get a crazy draw in the Europa League, really hard, we should go on a run in the Europa League anyway. Look, though, with that group and seeing what has happened between Milan and us before and Valencia and us before, I think we're favourites to top the group. If we're playing 4-2-3-1. We're not playing 4-2-3-1. However, I still think, with the way the 4-4-2 has been playing in the league, we've yet to concede, we're banging in goals. I think at home, we're going to be quite amazing. I really do. It's going to be a tough group because that's what it is, right? But it is what it is. We got Valencia at home, which is the opening game of the season. Nice. You will see. Well, and then we got Milan at home as well. Right. Yeah, I think we'll do both in this episode. Make this episode a little bit longer, but that's kind of what I do. I think you'll see both in this episode. If we win both games, go to 6 points, we're going to be in driving seat because then when we play whoever we get, it'll be really, really good. If you have a look at the schedule, so let's have a look. Valencia, Milan, we got Vienna home and away, right? So if we beat Milan and Valencia first up, we should then win the first 4 match days. And then on that, we won't get caught and we're through the group. So if we beat Valencia, Milan, home and home, in the next 2 games that you see in this episode, we should be beating Austria, Vienna, home and away. And then in that case, then we will top the group more than likely, if not definitely finish second with 12 points, even if we lost to Milan and Valencia on the final group stage draw games. But look, great group. I'm happy with that. I'll see you for the Valencia game, which we should hopefully win. And yeah, I'll see you then, YouTube. We'll be back for Valencia. It will be tomorrow because it'll be a different day. But yeah, I'll be back for that one there. See you then. Welcome back, YouTube. It is Damien. It's a brand new day behind me. It's also time for match day 1 of the Champions League against Valencia. Obviously, a very good group draw for us. We should be okay. But like I've been explaining to the stream for the last half an hour, 20 minutes while we played Randers. Randers, by the way, first game we conceded a goal in, by the way. It was a 92nd minute. And it was because Jefferson passed it to this guy on top of the box and he absolutely hit a worldie. It would have been another clean sheet. But another win nonetheless. We're a fully rotated team. Thought I'd show you that. Also, in the international games, Portugal beat us 2-0 in Denmark. They're World Cup champions. Absolutely pumped us. Didn't even deserve nothing. England, however, we played them at Wembley. Interesting game. Can I show you? Interesting in terms of the stats against England. We played pretty well at Wembley. 7 shots, none on target, 52% of the ball, right? We looked good, we just couldn't put nothing on target. I think on a different day, we would have scored 1, if not 2. It's good playing part of this top division now because we're playing, World Cup champions. England are going to be in with a shout winning the World Cup next time out, and they've got obviously a great team in that. So in terms of Denmark stuff, really good. But back to Champions League, I'm worried. But only because it's the unknown. We could theoretically just play 4-2-3-1. I know it works in the Champions League. Let's play it again. We only lost 2 games at home playing 4-2-3-1. But I feel like it would be disingenuous and, it could harm us, right? We've only conceded 1 goal all season in the league, right? Playing 4-4-2. We've been playing 4-4-2 since the last 7 games of the league last year. We then played 4-4-2 for the whole of pre-season and the whole of the league here, right? For me, then to switch it on the boys after what has been, a large period of playing 4-2 to 4-2-3-1, it could unsettle the team. And that unsettling a team in good form could then lead to Valencia beating us because we're unsettled and, it's a change of system, etc., right? Or the other way we go about it is switch to 4-2-3-1. We play like we normally do and we win the game, right? I don't know, right? I think by starting 4-4-2, it allows us to switch 4-2-3-1 if it isn't happening. But by playing 4-4-2 and me not knowing about how, usually this 4-4-2 isn't this defensively strong. We have improved in the back line. Obviously, you've seen those signings. That I feel like that we should be okay to play it in Europe. And results say we have. But playing in Europe is a lot different than playing in Denmark now. It'd be damned if you do, be damned if you don't. This game's going to go one of 3 ways. It's going to go that it's not happening, but it's going to be 0-0. It's going to be chances either end, but no one scored. We'll probably switch 55th, 60th minute because it's not happening in 4-2-3-1. We score, we play amazingly well, and we win, right? Or that's going to happen. I'm going to switch 4-2-3-1 and Valencia FM us a little, and they score late. Or, right, that's one scenario. We switch to 4-2-3-1, something happens. Either then the next 2 scenarios will happen, which are more probable. Valencia have enough ability to absorb the 4-4-2 pressure and hit us on the break, and it become a back and forth goal fest. We'll score, but they'll score who scores the most. Or it's going to be what happens in the league here. We're going to go out there. It's Denmark. We have a great record. We're going to go out there, be defensively solid like we have been in the league, score goals, win this game 2-3-0, and just get on with it, right? Now, I'm hoping that's what happens, but I'm not particularly sure what is going to happen. But it is what it is, and yeah. In terms of the team, no real big team news here for Valencia. I actually thought it was up to the game. Apologies. This might be the fitness test. It is Fangol past fit. He played in the last game, of course, as a rotated team. But yeah, in terms of us, Milan have Vienna. For me, it's massive. Like I said, Valencia at home, Milan at home in the first 2 games. If we win these first 2 games, we should be beating Austria Vienna home and away, 12 points, shouldn't get caught. We probably need 1 draw to probably top the group, right, our last 2 games. But we'll see how we go. Anyway, they're telling me to drop Marquez, play Ortiz, and play Yepi. I'm not going to. I'm going to go with what is perceived as our best 11. We are going to go Munizaga in goals. He's still unhappy to not join Wolves. Ortiz, by the way, very unhappy we didn't sign a striker. I've told him to toughen it up. He's complaining to the teammates. Teammates don't particularly care, so I'm hoping that goes away, gets over it before the window opens, and it'll be okay. So Munizaga in net. Vieira, Marquez, Sanchez, Neff. Frank, Orbres, Ortiz, Fran, Wirtz, and Morton. When we last played Valencia, it was 2 years ago. We beat them home and away 2-1. A lot of water's gone under the bridge since then. Valencia are 12th at the moment in Spain. They won against Vigo, they lost to Real San Sebastian, and they drew to Leganés. So, for me, not their greatest start, and they probably should be beating Leganés at the moment as well. And they copped a couple injuries as well, which is massive. In the end, though, we're going to have a look at their team. It's going to be star-studded. We know about it. But the boys are all up for it. And the team likes the attacking, mentality of the team. We obviously made 11 changes last game to this game. Sometimes that can throw you off a little bit, but I think fresh legs is more important here. And yeah, Miss Lai's still there from when we last played. Kang In Lee is still there as well from when we last played them. I think he scored the free kick against me. Yeah, it was Lee, I'm pretty sure. Anyone else here from when we last played? Soler still there, and Ethan's still there too. All right, so some guys that we know from when we last played him. Interesting. Show me what you can do, guys. Seem a bit motivated. Ortiz seems nervous. This is his first ever Champions League game for Ortiz and, of course, Carlos Sanchez. But yeah, by the way, Ortiz starting to develop. I don't know if it'll show you here. Please do. Yes. That's a good sign, boys. But yeah, obviously we're going to go in and we are going to do what we do. They're lining up 5 at the back. Now, this is the first one I've played 5 at the back in this system. As well. I feel like that should help us press and keep them in, but it also means with 2 up top, they should be able to break more regularly. I'll be more confident playing 4-4-2 against the 4-2-3-1, to be honest. But anyway, Miss Lara in goals is world class. Lurik's pretty good centre-back that plays on the right. Mildew is the one that we kind of have to pin Morton or draw him out with Wirtz because he's the slower of the two, I believe, because I believe Pascal Fernandez is not bad. He's 25. Decently good. The back the both centre-backs compared to what we've played in previously in Europe aren't the greatest, but not bad. This right-back obviously is very good. The DM is Hugo. People know who Hugo is. Still pretty well-class as Hugo. Justin James, obviously people know who he is. Still very experienced, very quick. Definitely one to watch out for. Soler, still in the middle of the park, still well-class. Surprised he never played for Spain in this save. Ethan's unbelievably good. A very defensively minded midfield. To be fair, no one really looking to bomb on. Ruiz still pretty good. Been capped once now for Spain. And then, of course, Lee did score the free kick against me last time we played. Their bench is the Spanish goalkeeper, Nicolas, left back, pretty good left back to be fair. This guy playing right wing. So if they move the 4-2-3-1, they would have the options to be fair. Alexander plays okay. I wish he was probably playing right back to be fair. Musa's not a bad midfielder. And again, 4-2-3-1, this guy comes into the middle of the park on loan from was it Lille or it might have been Lille, I think. So this guy's not particularly great at all. I don't know why he's on the bench. Give that a scout, but I don't think he's really that good. And Tony is not a bad little winger too. So they have the potential to move 4-2-3-1 is what I'm saying. But look, in terms of depth, I think I have a better bench than them, which is good. But I think in terms of man for man, their team's very similar to ours. It's just our record at home is really good in the Champions League, but playing 4-4-2 against a 5 at the back system, I don't know. I still think that if the game's not happening 40 minutes in, at half-time, might switch it to 4-2-3-1 and see what happens, but hopefully we just play well. Other circumstances might have risted him. Obviously, Vincent missing out is a big winger out for them as well. But yeah, our form's been amazing. Their form's not been great. We haven't lost to Valencia in the last 2 games. Obviously, we beat them 2-1 home and away. I think against the 5 at the back, it's going to be interesting. I feel like we have to score first early and we'll be okay. The longer this game stays 0-0, the more that they could switch in the 4-2-3-1 against the 4-4-2 and become a little bit more ding-dong. Or they sit in this 5 back and just long balls like they did last time. We dealt with it pretty well in the 4-2-3-1, but now with the lack of, I wouldn't say the lack of midfielders. Ortiz sits. I don't know. It'll be interesting. I'm not even looking for us to dominate possession. I'm looking for us to get chances. They have an early set piece. This is not good. By the way, score predictions, Curtis 3-1. My dim sim reckons a 2-1 win. In the end, mistake and Fran on it early. Morton needs to get with him. Fran's been in a couple. Still going Fran. Bang. What a goal. Well, that settled the nerves, boys. Fran has scored an absolute weldy of a goal in terms of FM weldies. Because he's picked the ball up and ran 60 metres and scored. Usually you see these saved by goalkeepers. In the end, Fran's picked it up. He's licked a few people. He beats the last gasp challenge. He could have squared it to Morton if he really wanted to be sweaty, but in the end, he drives it through the keeper. 1-0 inside 10 minutes here against Valencia is a very nice settler indeed. And it's that man again. It's that man, Fran. Dominating the game, to be fair, as well. Poor throw-in. Fran chips it to no one in particular. And James Justin on the ball. Fernandez now. Fran presses all the way back to Meslier. Fran's going to chase him down here like a man on a vengeance. Long ball, could pick it up here. Neff doesn't win it, but Albrest in the air does. Morton now, big ball looking for Fran, finds him. Still going Fran. Can he whip one across the box? He puts it in there. Works! Oh, volley's over. Could have been his first ever Champions League goal. Porto Albrest, Sporting made a 43 mil bid. Wasn't even on deadline. I was after the deadline day window. I then asked him for 49 and 50%, whatever they sold, because he has a 50 mil release fee. It was 43 with clause. They said no. Which is fine. Anyway, 30 minutes played, dominating the game in terms of possession, looking like the better team with chances, and it's a set piece and Frank's good from them. Backstick, Sanchez hits the bar. Would have been nice to see Sanchez score his first ever goal for the club in general, not just in the Champions League. But as it stands, dominated, but we haven't put it to bed, and we know from last time Valencia know how to score. Neff with the long throw. I've kept him because Neff has good long throws, 14. So that left-hand side, we get a little bit of joy. It's the right-hand side we don't. Anyway, Ortiz has got options with him. Looks inside the Eugene Neff. He's forced a little bit wider than I would like. But in the end, back to Ortiz. Has got good long shots, but they won't hit one, I don't think. Into Albrest. Wirtz. Albrest. Ball. Frank. Hits it. 2-0. Frank buries it. He loves a Champions League goal, does Frank. And he's gone on leaps and bounds and is now the best winger in Denmark. And he has looked amazing. In the end, well done, Albrest and Ortiz. In the end, it's a great ball. A little bit unlucky that he's not going to get the assist, I think, Albrest for that, because it was a good ball into Frank. And in the end, it's 2-0 right on half-time. And that 2-goal buffer is really nice to have. And we've been the better team here at home. And we look pretty amazing against Valencia as well. Nerves settled. We look good. I'm very pleased with that. Start the second half. Morton not really impacting the game as well at the moment. I might actually move Morton to a poacher. It's something I have done a couple of times to just get him hanging on the last man and try and beating people. But yeah, anyway, highlight Frank. Backstick, Fran knocks down Wirtz. Offside against Fran though. That's a bit unfortunate. Great set piece from Frank. And in the end, an intelligent knockdown too by Fran to Wirtz. He's looked good here on his Champions League debut as Wirtz as well. But unfortunately, the goal's going to be disallowed and Wirtz isn't going to make it free here. In the end, Fran... Oh, I tell you what, this guy here looks like he's kept him on, to be fair, FM. I never trust the Lions, because the Lions are taking it from the front foot of the defender with the back foot of the striker, even though it should be from the back foot of the defender where the defender's last leg is. But it is. Anyway, Neff looking for Frank, finds him, knocks down into Orbres. He can run at people, and he does. He's good at this too. Wirtz drops in deeper, which I love. Neff now needs to pick a good pass. Finds Fran, can whip a ball in across the box, which he tries to block. Has to be won by Vieira. He does win it, whips it in there first time, and here we go. This is what I don't like about playing two strikers in a 4-4-2, but in the end, we forced them back, and Sanchez, cool, calm, Ortiz, Fran now. We've won the ball back brilliantly. Fran going on a run, lays it to Frank, beats his man. Frank, cross keeper. He's never missing that. It's free, and Valencia sinking without a trace, and Frank has two, and we look good. And here we go, boys. And in the end, Ortiz, good ball to Fran. What a run from Fran as well. And what a finish by Frank. Drops the shoulder, what he's good at. And Frank buries that. And that is free. And really, it should be all she really wrote here too. 60 minutes played, 3-0, looking good. I am going to make a change here. Wait a second, though. It will be for Morton for Lars. Get Wirtz and Lars together in the episode, always nice. Anyway, Sanchez now looks into Ortiz. Good ball out to Frank, who's running everyone ragged. Instead, didn't actually find it. Frank didn't go to it. Sanchez now, though. Frank stays wide. Looks for him again. Knocks it down. Orbres, good touch. Might go for goal here. He does. What a hit. To be fair, the keeper should have saved it. Maybe it was unsided. Rafael Orbres scores. It's 4. We are looking sublime, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Wirtz is on a booking, so maybe we'll get Lars out there. I know we really want to do it. But I think getting Lars out there saving the yellow card is something. Frank, by the way, we could take him off here. To be fair, Orbis has scored. We'll get B-Ho, keep him happy that he's playing enough games. And we will go and do that. Anyway, long ball here. Justin heads. Koulibaly, Lee. Would be rude on us to concede from kickoff because I was making changes. But that's how FM works. 4-0 to the good. Koulibaly again. Ball out the other side to Orellano. And he's got to whip one in. Ruiz. Munizaga, what a save. Yet again, it's a highlight because I was trying to make a change. You know, if it wasn't for that, it would have been fine. And see the corner we don't even get to see. But yeah, Munizaga, great save. Time ticking away here. 75 minutes played. Still looking good. Milan finally have scored, by the way, against Vienna. Gamma's going to make his debut here as well. We're going to get Gamma into there, I think. Is not a bad little option as well. Because Gamma can go out there and just make sure that the yellow card doesn't get a send-off into Marquez. Anyway, time ticks away. 4-0 to the good. What a win this is going to be. Milan go 2-0 up to secure the 3 points there. Valencia have been smacked in the 4-4-2, ladies and gentlemen. We win 4-0. That is perfect. Frank with a man of the match display for the ages. We looked good. Didn't look like conceding. And I tell you what, boys, if that's how we're going to play in Europe in the 4-4-2, it is going to be just more of the same at home. And then it just depends what happens against the bigger teams away from home. But in the end, perfect start. We have AC Milan next. A big game there. Beat Milan, 6 points. Got Vienna home and away. And then it's all about what Milan do against Valencia. Technically speaking, Milan beat Valencia home and away, both on 12 points. We can't get caught. That would be great. And then it will just come down to what we do away from home. And yeah, anyway, it was positive. Absolutely superb win as well. We're going to go away, play a couple of league games, and we'll be back to see what we do against AC Milan. But that looked really, really good out there. We dominated big time. And I really do think there's something a little bit special building at SFB. We just have to make sure we do the same thing against Milan. And if we do, we have a really big chance of just not getting through the group, topping it as well. And I hope we can. Welcome back, YouTube. Match day 2, the final match day of today's episode. Can we go into the Austria-Vienna doubleheader, which will be next episode, with 6 points, 2 wins on the trot, and a big chance to win 2 games there and go to 12 points and really have 1 foot through the door into the knockout stage yet again. Since we last met, we played Midtjylland. We won 1-0 in a game we absolutely dominated in. It was a long throw, however, that we scored from. You know, like I said when it happened on stream, if we can get 5 goals a year from it, it's worth me putting it in. I decided to keep it because A, Eugene Neff has 14 long throws. B, we gave it 6 games and it looked more a hindrance than not. Since we've trained it a little bit more, Neff's been getting a lot deeper and causing keepers to come through traffic to get it. And that's what happened. Keeper missed it, Morden scored. If that keeps happening, it'll be okay. Secondly, Wirtz's form has diminished. Since obviously Copenhagen, he's come on in today's episode, didn't play against Randers, and has not looked particularly good. However, I am going to keep faith of him here against Milan and go unchanged from the team that won 4-0 against Valencia. We also then played AC Hornez, and it was the first time we looked like being FM'd this season. No goals up front. As you can see, he started Wirtz there again. And Fran started because his fitness was a little bit low, but he should be fine. Went 1-0 up. They scored right on half-time from Kim Nelson, who is a bit of a kid that has a little bit of potential for the first team. I think it's the right Nelson for Danish squad. I don't know if that's the right Nelson or not. Don't hold me to that. I think he's actually Ben Nelson, not Kim Nelson. Anyway, they scored. Biho scored a very nice ball from a very good Yepi cross before Yepi scored a free kick late. It's good to see the midfield really, no matter who's playing in the forward, really dominate games. And this has been a common occurrence of the midfield forward playing well and the centre-backs playing well. Important to note, Gamma, slowly but surely, is starting to develop, which is really good to see. He's got a personality change to Resolute, which is really nice to see as well. And he's starting to develop, working him on his passing, his vision, and trying to get his technique up as well, because if we can get him a bit more ball play at 19, he should shoot up. I'm just a little bit worried that he's been playing in some very good form at the moment in the league, and he hasn't started to develop yet. A lot of guys playing really well at the moment, but not developing. Anyway, Milan, though. They're a team that we know well, and they're not as injured as when we played them last year in the Champions League. They're a little bit more full strength from when they played us in the Europa League. So obviously 2 years ago, Europa League quarterfinal, you will remember that 2-0 up at home, ended up conceding 2 late goals, 2-2, and then lost 4-0 or 5-0. Actually, we scored 4-1 or 5-1 in Milan. And then obviously last year, remember, we beat them 4-0 at home and 2-0 away from home to top the group. And send Barcelona to second. In the end, we got Real Madrid, who the bloody hell cared. They're yet to lose in the league. 2-0 to Parma and Verano. 3 wins against Spezia, Udinese, and Bologna. Looks like they've played no one of any importance. It always seemed to be the case that Juve, Inter, Napoli, Milan, usually Roma as well, do not lose games early doors in the league until they start playing each other. So that doesn't concern me. It's kind of what was happening last time. They still have injuries, like De La Fuente is out. He played last time, but obviously Dino was out. I'd rather Dino be out. And Leon could play. It looks like he'll be really close. I expect to see him on the bench. He might be risky. It's a massive game for Milan as well. And obviously after we beat him 4-0 in this exact match day, might have been this match day. If not, it was match day 1. Anyway, in the group last year, we beat him 4-0 at home. They're probably out for revenge. Apart from that, the team is what you just saw from last game. It's Munizaga, Vieira, Marquez, Sanchez, Eugene Neff's been absolutely outstanding. Frank Orbres and Ortiz has looked amazing and has been developing ever so well since coming in. Like, he is really starting to go on with the mentals. Fran out at right wing has been absolutely crazy as well. Wirtz's form has dropped off. He's still averaging really well and still scored a lot of goals. But Morton hasn't been scoring of late either. I've moved into a poacher. He seems to be a better poacher than an advanced forward. Also with the match engine, of late, advanced forwards just seem to miss a lot more chances than poachers. So I'm going to probably stay with a poacher for a little bit of time. I prefer an advanced forward myself. But if the poacher really starts scoring a bit more than the advanced forward, then I will make that change to poacher. I just feel like an advanced forward brings more people into the game, and that really does help us. I am going to make that as an only slight change, just trying to get Morton to score. Now, just like I said against the Valencia game, one of 3 things are going to happen. This game's going to peter out. I'm going to switch 4-2-3-1. We're either going to win that game from there, or it's going to be a late AC Milan goal. B, it's going to be Milan over the top, really hitting us on the break, which we have seen them do to us in the past, and they will win the game, or it's a ding-dong battle. Or what happened against Valencia, the last scenario, we go out there, we pump them, we look amazing, and we go and do the job. On the back of that Valencia game, there is nothing for me to be worried about in terms of the 4-4-2 not working, only that Milan are a better team than Valencia, and we're the first seeds in the group. But we should be okay, not scared of this challenge, because we have played them before. Anyway, Costa, still here from last year. Zeke Fuchs, still here from last year. Kang In Hang, I reckon, is still here from last year as well. Chris, still here from last year. Didn't play in the 4-0 loss. Played in the 2-0 win. That was 4-0 win that we had over them, and not in the. But I think he played in the 2-0 win. He played in the Italian game, is what I'm trying to say. I think we can get it in, personally. Anyway, Jonathan, really good. But yet again, Fran will get it in. Weston McKenna's playing this time around as well. Dino's moved to centre mid. He did score from centre mid in the 2-2 draw in the Europa League. We haven't seen him in a year. He's amazing. Salmaker's also back in too. I think he missed the first leg, which we won 4-0. Tonga played in both. Tonga, though, we know has the ability to go and do a job. Actually, sorry, he didn't play in the Italian game away from home that we won 2-0. Rafael Leo looks pretty good, and Douglas is up top. Very similar to what we've seen from them in the past. A little bit more full strength than what the team was. Victor Nelson missing out. But I think I wouldn't say we're favourites. See, this is the weird one. We should be favourites. We're not favourites. The reason why I don't have us as favourites, their bench looks amazingly strong as always. I think Cerna started last time. I like that the right-hand side we should be able to get down, and that's the side where Wirtz can pull these guys out of position, Frank can get beyond, and Morton might be able to run into. The reason why I wouldn't say we're favourites is I don't know how this 4-4-2 is going to react to a world-class side that is AC Milan. You might see me change the 4-2-3-1 really quick. We've got the cattle to do that, Wirtz can play shadow striker technically, and obviously Orbres and Ortiz can play together in the midfield, and then obviously get Wirtz off, get Yepi on, and, it's a very easy transition into the 4-2-3-1. But it'll be interesting to see what we can do. It's two teams in absolutely amazing form. This time last year we beat them 4-0, but it was in the 4-2-3-1. Score predictions in the chat, lads. I think if we score early, it will be more of the same. But the fact that I have Tonga, Dino, Sailmakers back in the team, and they weren't here when they played us in the 4-0 win last time, makes me think this game's going to be really, really close. Now, look. We win this game, we're going to probably beat Vienna home and away, and we're probably then going to be through the group. Lose this game, it's going to be all to play for with Valencia or Milan. For me personally, it's just about how well can we play. Look, I'm not particularly looking for possession, because the 4-4-2 is not known for it, but we kept it very well against Valencia. I'm looking for chances, and it hasn't really been a game full of chances. Anyway, 17 minutes played. It's important to score the goals when they do have the chances. If we're not going to create too many. Anyway, Frank going on a run, gets down the line, hits it straight into the post. In the end, a moment of brilliance from Frank. He's looked really up for the cup. Why are we not taking it short? I do not know. That is not in our mantra. Falls back to Frank, a little bit lucky. Now he can whip one in. He gets past a few. He goes for goal wide. Frank's had a couple of moments, but apart from that, nothing really to write home about. We've dominated the start, but not to an extent that you would expect. And with a team like Milan, we were banging them in last year in this tie. This year, haven't done so yet. Nervous sip of the coffee as we approach half-time. I would love a goal right now. We've looked like the better team out here, but AC Milan holding strong. Time ticking before half-time, and Douglas has a chance to whip one in, and he does. Back stick, headed over the bar, luckily, by Kang In Hank, the centre-back. And that was a warning shot from Milan to say, hey, you've dominated the game, but you're not winning. What is going on? I'm going to tell him I'm far from pleased, to be fair. I feel like the system's working. We just need a goal. Anyway, Vieira, not known for his long throws. That's a decent one towards Wirtz. And Fran now can recycle. Now can he get a ball in the box? He is stood up. Might have to keep it here. Ortiz, Marquez out the other side. Eugene Neff made a very good run. Good first time ball to Orbres. Can he pick a pass? Looks for Frank. Gets there. Can he whip one across the box? Stands on it. He does. Orbres, he's hit the post. We need that first goal, boys. We need it big time. We are dominating the game in terms of chances and possession. We just haven't put the game to bed. Munizaga now plays out short. We're still good at keeping the ball, though, in this system. It has to be said. Marquez now. Vieira bombs on. Good one from Fran. He stopped it, though. He needs to keep making it. Vieira, though, the Portuguese, inside Fran. Good touch. Beats his man on the outside. Still going. Numbers in the box. Backstick Morton. Falls to Wirtz. And he ends his goal-scoring drought. And it is the 16-year-old. And he may have just become the youngest goal scorer in Champions League history. Vienna are beating Valencia. That's massive as well. In Austria. In the end, good ball. Morton blocked on the goal line. Great block, it has to be said. But we're 1-0 up. And there we are. My school for English. Name a city in Denmark. Everyone. Copenhagen. Me. Sevenborg. Exactly, Dimsim. Exactly. Anyway, we are 1-0 to the good. Dominating the game. And it's another highlight from the back. Look, a second goal here is massive in this group. Ortiz now keeps it. I love that he played the same way he faced. That is brilliant. Anyway, Fran now running at people. Wirtz inside of him. Fran, though, going himself. Fran, what a run. Can he finish? Oh, straight at the keeper. Fran keeps it in, though. Is it going to be another little ball in the box? So he gives it back to Ortiz. It wouldn't surprise me if that's the highlight. And it is. We're looking good. It's just not happening out there at the moment. Anyway, Ortiz having a good one. Morton isn't. Going to make a change here. Lars is going to come in. And you're going to see a Lars Wirtz special up top. Just because I think there's going to be a chance on the break still for us. Fran looking a little bit legless as well. We could bring Yeppy in as well. Anyway, backstick Frank. Oh, Fran's hit the post. I am going to bring Yeppy into this game as well. And I can move him to a defensively minded wingback if I want to as well. Valencia drawing, it would be a massive win for us. But it's a highlight here. It's in the box. It's cleared away. Wirtz is good on the run. Lars is with him. Lars brought off the bench for this reason. It's Wirtz to Lars. It's the Wonder Kids combine. Oh, my God. Wonder Kids combine, by the way. Commentary all over the shop. But, unfortunately, Lars does not do the business. Or else it was 2-0. It was the moment we've been waiting for to see the Wonder Kid duo. And it nearly proved dividends. Unfortunately, Lars just didn't put it in the net. Corner again. Yeppy, Frank, cleared again by Dino. And in the end, 82 minutes played. Long throw, Neff. Whops it in there. Costa doesn't come. Cleared away. Leo's good. Thumped it away, though. No one up there for Milan. They're being penned back even still in the 82nd minute. A second goal for us would kill this game, you feel. Munizaga, Sanchez, back to Munizaga, out to Marquez. Good build-up play. In the Sanchez again. Good press from Milan. We can play through it, though. Munizaga's looked for worse. It's a poor idea from the keeper. Dino now has moved to striker. Rafael Leo, they don't deserve anything out of this. Decent ball. Neff does well, though. And now Munizaga goes again looking for Wirtz. Doesn't win it, but does enough. Yeppy now. Ortiz needs to keep it here. Finds Yeppy. He's got a bit of a turn of speed now. Yeppy going on a run. His ball for Lars. Lars off the bench. And it's 2. And Lars has a goal in the Champions League. And who's done it? It is the Wonder Kid duo. Wirtz and Lars both have scored against Milan. And we are 2-0 up. And we are going to be 6 points from 2 games in the Champions League as AJ comes into the chat. Great finish by Lars. We brought him on. I said it. There's going to be a chance in the break. And Lars' pace will do it. Because Morton's not as quick. In the end, for me, I'm going to bring the George on. But I'm doing one thing first. Defense on defend. Get George in there. And we are going to move Yeppy into a defensively minded wing-back as well. 3 changes made. 2-0 to the good. Barring 2 late goals from AC Milan, we are home and hosed. And that's exactly where we need to be. 5 minutes, Vieira will look long. Poor throw-in, though. Look, I like him on the left-hand side. On the right-hand side, I hate him. Anyway, Marquez, Neff. Good ball to Ortiz. Straight into Orbrecht. Lars inside. Lars for free. He's put it wide. I thought once he beat the keeper, it was in. Oh, what a chance. What a move. And Valencia have scored really late against Vienna to come back from 1-0 down and win 2-1. But look, boys. Look who it is. We've waited for this moment for a very long time to have Wirtz and Lars together in a Champions League game. And what happened when they came on? Well, to be fair, Lars had nothing to do with Wirtz's goal. But Lars scored. Wirtz nearly set him up for another one. And we looked really, really, really good. 6 points, 2 games played, yet to concede in the Champions League. And we've only conceded, 2 goals in the whole entire, since the season started proper. If you look at the results here, Milan, of course, still in second because their result against Valencia was superior. Vienna yet to get a point. We, however, are going to play Vienna home and away next episode. Win both of them. We're going to be on 12 points and more than likely going to top the group if we do that. So far from what we've seen in today's episode, we've got a really good Champions League draw, a really good chance to finish top. We were a little bit worried about the 4-4-2 and what it would do in the Champions League, but those nerves have been put to rest. If anything, we look better in the 4-4-2 in the Champions League than we did in the 4-2-3-1, and who would have thought we would have been saying that because our 4-2-3-1 form was really good. We have played Valencia, we won 4-0. We played AC Milan, we won 2-0. Yet to concede. This first team looks an absolute treat. And next episode, you'll see me play Austria Vienna for a chance to go 12 points from 4 games. And really, we should pump them. And if that happens, then we really should be out of the group. And who knows, if they draw both their games, Valencia, Milan, home and away, 2 draws, we probably, after 4 games played, have topped the group. And that would be insane in itself. From Damien and everybody else here, I'll see you next episode, which will be the Vienna game. And we'll see you then. Thank you and goodbye.